Sure, and it's very important to make that distinction when we're talking about misinformation. They both involve the sharing of false information, and a lot of times on social media, and that's kind of why we're talking about it now, because it proliferates on social media. But misinformation is like, somebody sharing something that's false and not really maybe knowing that it's false. Whereas disinformation, there's like some intent behind it. Like somebody created that information in order to manipulate or gain political power or financial gain.
Yeah, and I think the distinction is important too, because people who fall victim to misinformation oftentimes don't realize it. And I think those folks are the ones that can be reached out to and have them course correct a little bit and realize what they're saying is false, as opposed to the people who spread disinformation. They know what they're saying is wrong and they're doing it for a reason. Usually it's for financial gain or for, like Katrine said, like political power. So I think it's important to give people sort of literacy tools to use, especially on social media, because again, it is so prevalent and there's so much information out there, both factual information and misinformation and disinformation. So having the tools necessary to be able to distinguish what is it, and it may just be something as simple as, okay, when you hear something, before reposting it, before sharing it, ask yourself, where did this come from? Who's telling me this information? What is the intent behind it? And just by doing that, you might be able to tell, okay, this means this is actually not true. This person is a bad actor. And just having people, I think, just take that 5-second pause, because it's very reflexive when you see something, and especially if it aligns with you politically or confirms a bias that you might have. It's very easy to be like, oh good, this confirms everything, I'm going to share it to everyone. But before doing that, just take a 5-minute pause and just say, you know what, is this factual? And that pause may be all it takes to stop that chain and that spread of misinformation.
And I agree with that completely. Another thing to check is the actual date that something happened, because a lot of times people will post headlines that happened like 5 years ago, and it'll be posted like it just happened, something about like a lockdown or something like that, and it's not a current headline, but people will post it like it is. And
Sure, so it's something that if a person has a deeply held belief, they're going to seek out things that confirm that belief and sort of push aside anything that might confront that belief. So, for example, if someone believes that the COVID vaccines are dangerous, that they cause death, they cause illness, they're going to be attracted to things from sources that say, hey, the COVID vaccines are dangerous, and then that's going to confirm their bias that they're right. And everyone likes to feel right. Everyone likes that sensation of like, okay, yes, I'm right about this. And when they see other data that come out that confront that belief, that contradict their belief, they're going to have that urge to say, no, that's fake, I'm not going to listen to that. So having to overcome that and explain, and just try to, again, come from a place of understanding, I think, also, because when you confront people and you can come off as hostile, and they're like, see, I knew you're just trying to push your narrative, you're trying to tell me that I'm wrong, and people don't like that. So again, trying to sort of say like, well, where are you coming from? What data have you analyzed? What things have you read that confirm this for you, and what can we do to sort of like have you be open to the idea that you could possibly be wrong? And I think that sort of helps, coming from like a point of common ground and asking them like, well, where are you coming from? Where are you getting this information? As opposed to coming from the top down and saying, no, you're wrong, and here are all the reasons why, because someone's going to shut you out when you do that. But if you come from a place of saying like, okay, I hear where you're coming from, can you tell me a little bit more about that? I feel like that opens a lot more doors.
I just wanted to say that in terms of confirmation bias, it's something that we all have, right? We make decisions with the information we already have on file in our minds. So for Eric and I, that would be science when it comes to vaccines, because that's our training. But this is why it's so dangerous when politics and religion get involved in like medical decisions, because the information that these people have on file is different, and the decisions they make, that they come up with, are not evidence-based decisions, because they're making it from a different kind of vantage point. And that's another reason that it just becomes so dangerous when the voices talking about medical issues are not scientific and medical voices.